Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the November meeting with our day camp presentations. We're going to ask everyone to mute, please, unless you're speaking. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our slideshow and we'll get ready to go. Here we go. All right, everyone. So yes, summer day camps. We have lots of great local camps with us today, and we're excited for all of them to share and talk with us. All right, so we have Weston Parks and Rec, Weston WOW, DIG, Ambler Farm, and the Westport Weston YMCA. So to kick off our morning, we have Weston Parks and Rec, which is our very own Joe Parchisepe. And I just like to say the last name real fancy like that.
That's pretty fancy, pretty close too.
So Joe, you are up.
Okay, cool. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another meeting. I think when we started discussing joining you guys for this preview again, I did preface this, and I'll preface this to everybody. This is a very early plot for us. We are elbows deep in basketball and ski waivers and all that kind of stuff to start right now. So this is kind of our general idea of our outline of what our summer looks like. I'll be able to give you some more insight on that. And obviously at the end, if anybody has questions, please reach out, email me, and I can give you some more guidelines. One of the big changes that we welcomed back last summer from a non-COVID summer, so to speak, was that we welcomed back our field trips at most of our camps. In Weston, we offer 4 main day camps. We offer our Junior Eagles, which is our preschool camp. That usually takes place at Hurlbut. The dates are Monday through Fridays, and we're there from 8:30 to 1 p.m. As part of that camp, one of the beauties is we do utilize Bisegli Park and Pond. So we'll spend a full day at Bisegli. In addition to that, we do spend 2 mornings at the middle school pool. So our camp does include 2 swim lessons, Red Cross swim lessons like you would take during the winter time with our great instructors. So for kids with little to no pool experience, this is the perfect way to kind of break them in the summer. I know how important that is to get young children comfortable with the water and understand water safety. Our next camp up from there is basically what we would call our Hurlbut camp. It's our Soaring Eagles camp. It's grades 1 and 2. That usually is hosted at the middle school. Same thing, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 1. There's a weekly day at Bisegli, and 2 swim lessons with that camp as well. That camp also does offer extended day until 3 p.m. So for some families that might need a couple extra hours of coverage or want their kids to be at camp a little bit longer, that one we do offer extended day. The reason in that we offer at that and not at Junior Eagles camp is because the Soaring Eagles camp is offered at the middle school, and I can kind of utilize some extra staff and share some people a bit easier there. Our Stars camp and our All Stars camp, the basic denoting between the 2 of them is that one is our Hurlbut or our WIS camp, and one is our middle school camp. Both of them are hosted together at the middle school. They do share a lot of activities. The main difference is that those camps go to 3 p.m. by default. The Stars camp, our WIS camp, is 1 field trip a week and a day at Bisegli. And typically those kids will get in the water in the afternoons at the pool at the middle school almost every day, unless we're on a field trip or unless we're at Bisegli. So that's, almost 5 days of swimming with that camp. And then the All Stars camp is our middle school camp. Same hours, 2 weekly field trips. That kind of gives that travel camp the ability to go on some bigger field trips with some kids with more responsibility and let them feel like they have something that they've earned to be able to go to that camp as they've gone to the other camps before, and they don't go on these special field trips. So it does leave something special for them. Some of the field trips that we do, we go to Club Getaway up in Kent, and we'll go to Brownstone Adventure Park. It's a giant quarry that's seemed to be a big hit last year. So we go on a little bit of a further field trip with them. Most of those days run until 3, but some of those field trips where we're going up to Litchfield County or someplace a little bit further away, we'll have a pickup timer of 4 or 5 o'clock, and that'll get noted in the camp calendar as we get a bit closer. All of our pond days are usually our pizza parties. I'd like to say they're Pizza Friday, but not all the camps go on the same day. So whenever they are down at the pond, that's usually where we have pizza party and the College Creamery ice cream truck comes down. So that's obviously 2 very popular, exciting pieces of camp. All of our camps that I've just spoke of start on the 19th of June and will run through the 28th of July. I am going to try to get a couple smaller camps running in the month of August, but frankly, for people new to town's very, very quiet in August, and running big camps with small numbers of kids is a bit of a challenge for us. But I think this year we found some ways to get around some of that. One thing I do like to brag about and be able to highlight, all of our camps are run by Weston school teachers and staff, and we have great help from Weston high school students and alumni. As always, I'll probably start my my online link will change to the 2022 employment link. It's just an easy online form that the kids fill out if they want to work this summer and stuff. Just want to also highlight Bisegli Pond and Bisegli Park. Bisegli Pond usually opens seasonally in late June for swimming and beach activities. It's fantastic for the younger kids. One nice surprise with our camps going, the older kids that probably haven't been there since they were little probably wouldn't have their parents take them on the weekends, but when they go with friends and they have everybody there, they're having a really good time out on the dock. It's really nice to see the pond getting used so much. So it's easy. We have, a pond pass for the summer. We're open through August, and it's just a great option. It's a little hidden gem in Weston, we like to say. Pascal will be back with her triathlon camps. And then typically in August, that last thing that's down there, the Weston High School sports clinics, most of those high school coaches will run a camp, whether it's a football camp, a lacrosse camp, soccer, field hockey, etc. All get run on the turf fields, typically through the month of July, and a lot of them are in August. So that's kind of one of the ways that we also highlight that we do offer some activities in August. I know I'm probably running out of time.
Thank you, Joe. This is awesome. And you're going to present for—
Yes, I will. I will help for Charlene and do
Okay.
youth services today. I know she's currently in another meeting.
Okay, so our next presenter will be Joe presenting for the Weston Summer WOW program. And here's that.
Okay, great. One interesting thing that kind of makes me doing this presentation today for Charlene a little bit of a more interesting experience. We'll be going through some changes probably late in the spring this year, where Weston Youth Services will be joining the Parks and Recreation Department just under our umbrella, I guess. So Weston Youth Services will just become part of Parks and Recreation. The WOW programs will still stay the WOW programs. Charlene will still be running everything. No changes to that, other than probably a change to the website and a change to the registration system. But we're currently already planning a massive promotional campaign to let everybody know they have to switch websites, they have to switch their usernames and that kind of thing. Once that's all migrated over, we'll get all those details out. Weston Youth Services summer camps offer a little bit of a different breeze of what Parks and Recreation offers. Charlene's summer camps this year will be baking, theater, a cooking camp. Sitter safety is extremely popular. Most parents will have their kids take that class. And when I see the posts on some of the Facebook groups for help and stuff like that, almost all of them identify that they've done a sitter safety class. So that's a nice feature for those kids to have when they go out into the job market of babysitting. Science classes, STEM classes, or STEM camps, I should say. Her famous Lego camp will be back. Another new one that's been pretty popular and really well done are these business program camps. So they are camps run by, I don't blanking on the name, but they're fantastic. They're teaching kids about business and money and the world. She has more coming. but obviously she's in the same situation as me. We don't have our exact plans set in stone yet, but there are definitely more camps coming for Charlene. Her partnerships with the school at the theater camp and stuff like that will still exist. So partnering obviously in Weston with our schools is a huge value for both of Weston Youth Services and Parks and Recreation. If you have any questions for the moment, WestonYouthServices.org. Weston Parks and Rec is westonct.gov/Parks and Rec. I would always say for both of our programs, the best way to make sure that you have updates on things that are changing for us are to follow both of our pages on Facebook. But one little shameless plug, if you are not already signed up for the town's alert system, please go on the Weston Town website and do that. You don't only get alerts on weather and emergencies and that kind of thing, but you can check off a box for Weston Youth Services. You can check off a box for Parks and Recreation. And whenever we send out flyers and updates on our programs, they go out to like the 4,000 people or whatever that is. So it's definitely important to get onto those so you don't miss out on any ongoing items. And like I said before, reach out to me, reach out to Charlene with any specific questions, or I don't know if you have a question section at the end, but I'm happy to take care of that too. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joe. That's great. And that's good to know about the alert system too. We will also, just so everyone knows, we will be linking everything on the buzz and the whistle. So all of the camps that are presenting, and we'll also make sure that the Parks and Rec and WOW and those links that Joe mentioned are on there as well. So next up, we have Dan from DIG. Dan, the floor is yours.
All right, cool. I recognize a lot of the people on this call. I've coached a lot of your children, which is pretty cool. So I'll make mine quick. I've got camps coming up this summer in Weston and Wilton. These are some pictures of some of the things we did last summer. Soccer on the top left at Our Lady of Fatima, we have 10 weeks of camps. Chess, if you look at the bottom left, we do arts and crafts. These are mostly Weston kids. And then in the middle bottom, we have a Nerf Capture the Flag game we play, where the kids get goggles and Nerf guns and dodgeballs, and they have to get the other team's flag back to their base. It's pretty fun. And we teach them strategies and get them thinking. We have them build a strategy each round before. So working on communication with each other and leadership and strategic thinking, and then applying that and then adapting during the match. Well, we do that with everything, obviously with chess. That's what you do all the time. Even soccer, anything we teach, we try to get them to think more than just play. And then goggle ball, we have an inflatable goggle ball pit that I'm going to buy a few more of those because those are pretty hot right now. These are a couple reviews. If you go on Google, you'll see a bunch of reviews about us. Just calls out like, I think the first sentence, Coach Dan is a team and his team at DIG have been part of our children's lives for a few years now. We've been doing this for almost 10 years in Weston. So a lot of our relationships go for a very long time. And that's our strategy. Our strategy is you don't have to sign up like for everything right away. We like to let people come and go. And then we have a long-term relationship. And then I end up hiring a lot of the kids, just like Parks and Rec. A lot of our counselors are 10-year students of mine. And it's good because I get to select the ones that I know will be good at, good at it. So the next one, we do 10 weeks. We start right after they finish in June, and then we go all the way through August. I agree with Parks and Rec that things die down in August, but we still have smaller camps available doing the same thing. In terms of the camps and how they run, the next slide, stations, we have, I was an ADHD kid as a kid. I got diagnosed and given all those medications, and I found that I can pay attention when I'm not trapped. So while I did well in school, I got my master's, I did well enough. I've thrived as an entrepreneur because I like to do lots of different things. So I want to create an environment for kids where they can go different stations and not feel trapped. So at our camps, all of these stations, they'll be available. We'll have a Lego Master, we have Nerf Capture Flag, we have chess, arts and crafts. At our camp in Weston, we'll have a water slide, face painting, board games, dodgeball. And so kids can select what they want to go to and do that for a certain amount of time and then go to the next one. So that's the model. The same thing in Weston, so speaking of Weston, you're probably wondering where in Weston. Well, I'm working with Parks and Rec, basically 48 Northfield, not Parks and Rec. I'm working with zoning right now. 48 Northfield, which is the house in the corner next to the Onion Barn. I actually live here now with my fiance and son upstairs, and we are working on getting the bottom floor and outside zone to host dig activities. It's already in the village district, which is zoned for commercial and residential. And when you look at what it's zoned for, education, arts and crafts, and stuff like that are on it. So it should be good, but obviously we'll have to go through things with the building inspector and fire marshal. I don't know. This is my first time doing such a thing. So I'm learning as I go, but we already have kids that I'm close with coming over and experiencing. We have a chess room. We have a arts and craft room. We even have a video game room. And then the field is really big and great. So we did dodgeball, we did soccer out there. So that's it. So then my last slide is the early bird price, the early bird regular and late when you can sign up. We do the camp goes from 9 to 3, but we actually are in both Weston and Wilton. We'll have early drop off at 8. That's what we did last summer in Wilton. And then we go all the way to 6. So you could, in theory, drop off at 8 and come pick up at 6. You could pick up earlier, but like the 8 a.m. to 9 and 3 to 6 is like before and after school care, but we'll still be like teaching them things. Like I won't just like have them sit there. We'll be doing the same kind of things the whole time. But after a long day, I learned last summer that like you can't keep coaching kids nonstop, you know? So after being active for a long time, maybe sometimes they want to chill out for a bit. But the point is there's a long space of time in there that you can have your child with us. So that's it.
Thank you, Dan. And next up, we have Stacy from Ambler Farm. Stacy, you are up.
Hello, hi, awesome. So excited to be here. I think it's awesome because I am literally thinking about camp year round. So very excited to kind of talk about camp in our off season. So welcome. Yeah, happy to talk more. I will give a warning that my PowerPoint is from last year. So some of my dates and themes and prices aren't totally up to date, but I'll get you more information on how to keep that updated. So yeah, welcome to the farm for those of you who haven't been there. It's an awesome, amazing place. Shameless plug, we are open to the public 24/7. So you're welcome to come visit. People come with their dogs. We have 22 acres. We have so many gardens, but we have 4 that are dedicated just to education. They're used by our kids, they're taken care of by the kids. So great space. We have so many different animals, which I'll get to in just a minute. And we are owned by the town of Wilton. So if you wanna, yeah, perfect. So just a sample schedule and kind of a brief look at our age groups that we have. So we start at 4 years old and then go all the way up to actually 15 with our CIT program. Our preschool age campers are kind of in their own little camp. Their schedule is a little bit looser structure, definitely allowing that age group to have some free play as well as some structured programming in between. And then we'll group the ages pretty close together. And then we'll talk about what some of our older campers do in just a second. But one of the big highlights, one of the biggest draws of our camp is, of course, visiting the animals. So we have 2 goats, 2 sheep. We just got 3 piglets last summer who are so sweet and so adorable. Every summer we try to have baby bunnies that are born so that way the kids can hold them and interact. We also have so many birds that only stay throughout the summer. So we do get baby chicks throughout, we get baby turkeys. And so we set up a little hay circle and the kids are able to interact and hold them. And then they'll also help us with some enrichment activities as well. So I know last year the kids made, they called it a playground for the bunnies. They set up like boxes and like hid food and let the bunnies interact and play with the toy that they created for them. So it was a very sweet and touching moment. And of course, we have our gardens. The kids will visit the gardens almost every single day. they'll do some tasting, harvesting, maybe a little bit of work in there. They'll water the plants at first and then start to water each other on the hotter days. So it's a lot of fun in the gardens. And then whatever is growing in the garden, we use that to inspire our programs in cooking. So I know the middle of July is when cucumbers are growing. So all of our kids will make pickles and take them home. And we just have so many yummy things there. And then of course we are a farm, but we also want to highlight the natural and native side of things. So we do a lot of crafts and a lot of education learning games that will highlight whatever that theme of the week is. So I'll get into themes in just a little bit. And building is another favorite. This is a chance where they actually get to go inside of our red barn, which we normally don't allow any other time of the year. So it's a great opportunity. One of my favorite kits is actually highlighted in this picture where they made planter boxes. So they constructed the boxes, they put some compost in, and I think that one in particular was radish seeds. And so you're able to kind of grow, but build your own planter, and it even showed like the roots and everything growing. So this is a really great and exciting one that a lot of our kids really latch onto. And on top of the kits they get, one day a week, they do what we call free build, where we have a ton of extra scraps and they can just kind of create whatever they're feeling and use their imagination and not be kind of stuck to a specific kit or a specific idea. And then our older kids get to do some extra stuff that the younger kids don't get to do. So starting at 5th grade, they'll do leatherworking and team building. So we will have sometimes free leather building, but a lot of times it is a planned thing. So we do things like bookmarks, but this is also one of my favorite pictures. If we made a little leather pouch that they could put in a homemade tic-tac-toe board that they made. And then the 5th graders and older will also do team building, which is a great opportunity for them to really come together and really kind of force some of those social interactions, which can be a little bit challenging at that age. So really encouraging them to kind of think, maybe take on some leadership roles as well. And last but not least, in terms of programming, we try to make Fridays super exciting and a little bit interesting. So there's always some sort of special activity. We bring in like the dunk tank, or this year we had a giant inflatable slide that the kids were able to go down on, and things like that. And then we also have Family Fridays, where at the end of the camp day, the parents can actually get out of the cars, come walk around the farm. We let all of the kids kind of show their parents around and show them what they've been doing all week. They get to go in and visit the animals. We have our camp store open, which usually is selling some sort of pie or other baked good that the kids actually made in cooking that week. So it's a great opportunity for them to interact. A couple of new programs that we started this year. Our camp normally just runs from 9 to 1. However, this year we have added on an extra feature called After Camp Care. Basically, they get to stay for an extra 2 hours. We give them an hour of free play, so that way they're not forced into this is what you're doing. We give them a chance to kind of do things at their own pace and what they're interested in. And then afterwards they go and we'll do some other activity that we call counselor's choice, where the counselor picks their favorite thing to do. And so they might do some more building, they might visit the animals again, do something in the garden, something like that. We keep the groups a little bit smaller there as well. So it's a great opportunity to meet some new kids that they didn't meet during the day. Another one of our new programs that went really well this year was we finally are allowing rising 8th graders to attend our camp, which was a new thing. And so they did some of the programs like cooking and visiting animals, but then we started to give them some new leadership opportunities, and they did some shadowing of the group, shadowing of program areas, and starting to take on a little bit more leadership and kind of get them ready for that CIT or counselor in training role. And again, so this is the slide that's out of date, but just something to give you an idea of our pricing structure, and every week has a different theme. We still do all the same activities, just those activities kind of focus on that theme. So these themes will change, and our pricing structure might change a little bit as we get closer to actually opening registration. And so in terms of registration, we do the same thing every year. So we prioritize our members. So members will be able to register on February 1st, and then they also have a little bit of a lower price as well. So it's kind of a good benefit to becoming a member. And then non-member registration opens on the 15th. I will say it's really important for those who have the preschool age kids, the 4 and 5-year-olds, are that camp usually fills up just during the membership enrollment time. So if anybody is interested, so just something to think about. I put a link in this PowerPoint, but also on our website shows how to become a member if that's something that you're interested in. And that's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Stacy. This was wonderful. And again, everyone's, all the camps will be linked in the Buzz and the Whistle, and this entire presentation goes on YouTube. So if any other families weren't able to make it, they'll also see it as well. And last but certainly not least is the Westport Weston YMCA, and we have Coach Brian with us to speak to that. Brian, you are up.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, I'm doing this on my phone, so I don't have access to like move anything because apparently my new work computer doesn't have a microphone or a video, so have to change that. So that's why I'm on my phone. But I've been a part of the Y and Camp Mahakano since 2002, so I have a wealth of knowledge to talk about just our camp. The best description of our camp is that we are we have all the elements of a sleepaway camp, but the kids don't actually sleep at the camp. So that being said, we have, your sports, you have Gaga, we have a lake where the kids can go canoeing or kayaking or paddle boating. We do have a pool where we do offer swim lessons and free swim. There is a very big splash pad where the younger kids tend to spend more time on there for their free swimming time. Everyone does, get swim tested, and then the swim lessons are Monday through Thursday, and Friday is our big free swim day. The other activities are, arts and crafts. We have archery that is for the older kids. That's just basically because they can't pull back the compound bows because of strength. But we do have, as of last year, something called safe archery. It's like smaller bows, and instead of shooting arrows, they are like magnets. So that was introduced last year for like the kindergartners of first grade years. Worked out pretty well for them. Just like I said, it's a lot smaller, a lot safer. We also have a ninja course or a ropes course, depending on what you want to call it, that we are continually building, which is really exciting just to see every year what additional feature we have to it. That basically is just like a project challenge where the kids are trying to work with team building exercises to work together as a group to try to overcome different challenges. So like there's a wall they have to climb over that has no handholds. There's a giant seesaw that can fit like 40 people on it, and they have to learn how to balance it. There's a rope that goes between multiple trees, and the group has to figure out how to cross the ropes with the group with different hand holdings, just different challenges for that. And then, just building off of that, different, like I said, team building exercises. The camp starts at 8 a.m. and it runs until pickup starts at 3. I'm sorry, not 8 a.m., 8:30. And it runs till 3 and pickup ends at 4. We do offer pre-care and post-care. So that starts as early as 7:30 and it can go as late as 6. But the spots for pre-care and post-care fill up incredibly fast, and spaces are limited for that, mostly because of staffing. Our camp is from 4 years old up until 15. We do have a higher registration for younger kids, mostly because that's the bigger demand, and the older kid groups are less just because there's just so many different activities for like a 14 and a 13-year-old to do. The groups tend to be around 18 kids up to 22, 24 kids per group. Higher ratio of counselors for the younger kids, obviously, and where we want to go with this. So right here on this page is just our registration weeks. Mostly because of how the school system lays out this year, we are only doing a 9-week program for our camp. Last year we ran 10 weeks, and because of snow days and everything that it ran into 4 or 3 days into our first week of camp. So just because of that fiasco, we're just starting camp slightly later because I'm anticipating snow days again. So we have a 9-week program. Right here, you see the themes next to it. So every week we have, you know, your general every day of camp, but we try to incorporate like our sports or arts and crafts or some activity every single day into the theme of it. So if you're looking down the list, Color Wars is kind of like an Olympics. Every single group or age group competes against like each other in throughout the week. And then we run like a giant Olympics on like Friday. Friday is always like our special event day. It's like 2 hours where we do camp-wide stuff together. But I bring up Color Wars because that's like our most sought after week, just because it's just so much fun. And every single year we're just growing different activities and games for everyone to play these special events together. So actually, because last year we had so many people requesting Color Wars, we're actually doing like 2 different versions of it this summer, just so people have a better opportunity to get those games. Our camp, you see it, like I said, it is 9 weeks, but in August, we have a lower enrollment, mostly because of staffing. College kids go back right around like August 14th. So you see like our last week, week 9 is August 21st. That tends to be like half or less of the enrollment of kids, just because we want to still offer a quality camp, and we can't offer that with like 300 plus kids and only staff of like 20. So that's why like that is one of the harder weeks to get into. We also have, and I know it's not on this slide, but we also have an indoor camp. It's called Camp Half a Day. It's mostly geared towards, sorry, 1 second. That's my phone. Half a Day is mostly geared towards swim lessons. It is at our indoor facility at the YMCA. It's for ages 3 to 6. I wonder why that's not muting it. There we go. Okay, so half a day is from 3 to 6, and like I said, it's mostly geared towards swim lessons. It is offered at our indoor YMCA, but they do still do activities outside. So like, even though it's called like the indoor camp, they still spend half the day outside. That is similar weeks just to us, but they are an 8-week camp versus our 9-week camp. Just because of the way the summer rolls out and just when staffing starts going back to school. I'm all good, Maria. Unless you have any other questions. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Thank you, Brian. And just on this slide, so everyone can see it, there's registration dates. They changed them a bit because it used to be members and then non-members.
Yes,
how did that change this year?
I forgot to bring up registration. Ever since COVID, registration has been like exacerbated. So like registration always opens up January 2nd or January 1st. But ever since COVID, like right around the first few weeks of January, like we have filled up like to the brim. So our YMCA has 2 different tiers of membership. Basically your family membership, which is our priority membership, and then youth membership is our second one. So it's broken up into families get first registration. So that way they have access to everything. And then 2 weeks later will become our youth membership. And then 2 weeks after that, it'll be open up to the community. So we try to give it this way to our family memberships, just because camp fills up so fast. Since our family members stay year round or for months, we want to give them the priority registration. And camp doesn't fill up the first 2 weeks. So that's why like youth still is open and available then. Last year, I can tell you camp filled up right around like February 1st, like the second week of February, I believe we hit a very strong wait list. So that's just why it's broken up to these three registration dates. That being said, also, if you see, it says like, you know, our members and then youth membership, to register for camp, it does require you to put in a membership ID tag this year. That way we can recognize who our members is and who our non-members are. Because if you are part of our YMCA, you know, we have a membership programming, but camp does not use that membership programming. We use something called Camp Brain. It's still accessed via our website and everything, but we just have to input the membership ID. So that way we can recognize who our members versus non-members are.
And this is great. Coach Brian, thank you so much for all of this. And everything, when you look at the Mahakana website and you're looking, all of this information is in there once it's updated for this summer. I only know this because we have done it for many, many years now. So it's great. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who presented today. We are such a strong community filled with such great summer opportunities for our kids. And it's all thanks to you and your teams and the kids that you bring in to coach and teach. So thank you for being here. Please stay on if you want to hang out and listen to the rest of our meeting. But if you presented and you have things to do, you're welcome to log out. But everyone else, please stay on because we have lots of important information on what's going on at Hurlbut and WIS. And first up is Principal Cadis from Hurlbut.
Good morning, everyone. Another busy month here at Hurlbut. Hard to believe we're almost at Thanksgiving. The days are just flying by. Just a few quick updates. We are at the end of our first marking period. So in mid-December, progress reports will be going out. That's a great follow-up to our recent parent family conferences. So that's also the same for WIS. So I'll cover that for Patty. Our progress reports go out on the same day. So if you have students in both buildings, you'll be getting those emails at the same time. Also, just a reminder, next week for Thanksgiving week, we are closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I did send out in one of my blasts just a reminder about that, but I always like to put that out as well. We have an assembly this morning, actually, for our PBIS program. Both of our schools have PBIS programs. Those are our positive behavior and intervention support programs. And our students know that as our Be Safe, Be Kind, and Be Responsible program. So that helps build our whole school community, and we teach students how to be safe, kind, and responsible, what that looks like and sounds like in various settings throughout the day, in school, and then we make links also to community and home. So ask your children about the assembly today. Today was the day when we launch our buddy classes. We have buddy classes in the building. It helps build cross-building community across grade levels. So students will be finding out tomorrow who their buddy class is. We were supposed to have part of our assembly today was supposed to be outside, but weather got in the way. So we'll be finishing that off tomorrow, and students will be coming home telling you who their buddy class is. Always a very exciting day when they get to meet another class in the building and do an activity together. So that is what is happening at Hurlbut.
Thank you, Mrs. Cadis.
Thank you.
And next up, we have Mrs. Felber from WIS.
Great. Hi, good morning. Thank you. I know I feel sometimes I just feel like what Laura said, and then but we do have a couple of other things. We do have I hope everyone had a great was able to meet with their JAWS teacher and to hear how your child is doing with the conferences. We are at the end of the trimester next week. We end our trimester, and then on our website we always do put a guide for understanding the progress report. If you're ever just want to take a look at that, that should be posted soon. And then the progress reports come out at mid-December. With the end of the first trimester, that does mean some changes for some classes because we students take 2 trimesters of health and 1 trimester of Maker Tech. So our 3rd graders have been doing Maker Tech. They will be moving into health after Thanksgiving, and our 5th graders were moving from health into Maker Tech. And then our 4th graders get Maker Tech at the last trimester of the year. Also, so we over the last week, and actually this week and last week, we were able to bring back in-person math workshops, and they have been really successful. I think it's been helpful to parents to hear a little bit more about how our approach is, and really it's about understanding math and learning math, and not just about answer getting, and how we build that conceptual understanding at in the classroom K-5. With our Math and Focus program. All those slides from that math workshop will be put on our website for you to be able to view if you weren't able to attend either one of those workshops. But and if you ever have any questions, obviously you can feel free to reach out to our teachers or to our to Carolyn Vinton, our curriculum instructional leader. Last week we had our first all school assembly again. It was so wonderful to be back in one room. We did a Veterans Day assembly The kids sang, we listened to a veteran talk about the day, we had kids share poems. It was really a wonderful experience. We're so happy that we're able to be back together and having these assemblies. And just like Laura said, we do have buddy classes also at WIS. So our teachers will start doing that right after Thanksgiving. They'll be meeting with their buddy class, and it's a great way to be connecting outside of their grade level. A big thank you to Maria and to Stacy for cleaning out our PTO closet and for decorating our building. It looks like all nice and fall right now, and putting up a gratitude tree. So our students are filling out leaves and what they're thankful for, and so we're going to be posting that in our hallway as they're going up right now. So that's a really nice little hallway decoration, but it's really nice to talk to the kids about this time of year, what you're thankful for, and what gratitude is what you have and not what you don't have. So I thought that was a great little saying that went up. And then I'll just do one little quick plug. This Saturday is a Wizards game. It supports the Western Education Foundation. It's at the high school. I think it's at 4 o'clock. So it's a great fundraiser for our school, and it's a lot of fun because there's a whole bunch of our teachers that are playing, and from all 4 schools are represented on the teacher team. So it should be a fun game on Saturday, and I wish everybody a really happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Falber. And now Stephanie from Hurlbut.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see everyone, and those camp presentations were amazing. Maria, you want to go to the first slide? Okay, perfect. So Hurlbut PTO is about to announce our winter community service project, and it is run by Daniela and Amanda. And we're going to be doing the same holiday drive that we did last year, which was incredibly successful, to support Weston Social Services. So you will be hearing more about this, but essentially we'll be asking for everybody to bring in gift cards to Stop and Shop and other areas supermarkets. We're also accepting monetary donations, and Weston Social Services will be providing families in Weston who need it a fully prepared, uncooked meal for the holidays that they can then prepare for their families. And then the gift cards are basically holiday gifts and allow, you know, each family member to go shopping at Amazon or Walmart or wherever else and be able to, you know, give each other gifts. So it's a really powerful program, and we hope that everybody will participate. So more of that to come. In terms of our community building, we are having a Mom Night Out event. It is going to be a holiday workshop where you get to learn how to make an amazing charcuterie board. And we know that those have become very popular, and they are delicious, and they're hard to execute and make them look as beautiful as they do in this picture. It's going to be at the Field Club, and we will be sending out more information, but we hope that everybody will, you know, join us, and we will have some drinks, and you will get to go home not only with the board that you create, but you'll be using really high quality products, and you'll get to keep the beautiful board that your charcuterie board ends up on. So it's going to be a really fun event for a mom night out. We are also doing a broader community building event. We are going to be having a holiday potluck for Hurlbut families. Again, the Field Club is generously hosting this. It's going to be potluck. So very simple, bring a dish, buy it from Stop and Shop, or bring a bottle of wine, and we will just gather and spend some time together and just take a break from the craziness of the holiday season and connect. So we hope that everybody will save the date to attend that. Swag. As you know, we have been telling everybody about the Hurlbut hoodies, which you can monogram your child's name on the sleeve. We are submitting the order this week because we want everybody to have it in time for the holidays. These are really high quality hoodies. They are soft and like from a really nice company, and you're not going to get them and be like, I can't believe I spent $40 on this sweatshirt that we are never going to wear. You are going to love it, and they are perfect for days like today, which are PBIS days, and it's a little too chilly to wear the BT. We are also still selling BTs, and I just need to try this on. This is the Hurlbut hat. It fits grown-ups. It fits kids. It is one because I'm sharing it with my kid and I wear it as often as he does. So I highly encourage you to get the beanie when you're also getting your hoodie. Again, hoodie orders are going in today. I'm sorry, this week by Friday. And if you don't order, then you might miss the opportunity because we probably will not be doing another reorder. Fundraising, Square One Art is underway. And again, we want you to get your Square One Art by the holidays, which means you really need to order by the deadline. It is super easy. This goes for WIS too. You sign on, you type in your kid's name and your school, either Hurlbut or WIS or Weston Intermediate, and your kid's art pops up and you get to see it on various products. So just to show you, I've already received, this is my pot holder. I have a trivet. I have a mug. I have another mug. I have another mug. These are going to grandparents. These are going to, I'm wrapping them and giving them to myself. Super easy. It's very quality stuff. And you will get it in like a week and a half if you order it ASAP. So highly encourage you to do that. And you're supporting your school. The Peach series, they are here. They are my favorite book. I hope that they will become your favorite book too. They have everything in it. And if you became a are going to find it in your child's backpack this week. So look out for those. And just in case you didn't know, you will also have access to an online directory. We will have the link to that in the buzz, but in case you are not a paper person like me, you can easily type in a name and search and immediately come up with a friend's, contact info, address, phone number. Makes it very easy for play dates and holiday cards and everything you need a directory for. Next, I think, oh yeah, and finally, yearbook underway. We really want a big, bold, thick yearbook this year, but we depend on all of you to submit pictures. So please look in the buzz and in your room parent emails for the link. We are only doing at school event pictures. So if you have a picture of your kids on a play date in your home, those will not be in the yearbook. But if you're chaperoning a field trip, if you were at the Halloween parade, if there was a class play date, those pictures are welcome and we are eager for you to upload them so they can be included in the yearbook. There's nothing better than your kid coming home with the yearbook and actually finding a picture of themselves in it. So that's it. I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, a lovely holiday season because we do not have a December general board meeting. And I hope that I will see all of you at the events coming up, including our Hurlbut holiday party. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, so now we're on to WIS. The Pride store is open and kicking. We all have the exact same with our sweatshirts. They are being ordered this week and we just got enough that we can place an order for them. They're beautiful, they're soft. So if you still want a sweatshirt, please go over to our store and order it. And you can also have it embroidered with the name or the initials of your child. And they're really soft. We have the one from Hurlbut a couple of years ago and Grayson still wears it. It's so soft inside. Great, great sweatshirt. This is our gratitude tree at WIS. So Stacy Dunbar spearheaded this and Shannon helped us put it all together at school the other day. And it is really so special. We absolutely love it. And we had a lot of fun crinkling all the paper and then sticking it on that wall. And my kids have come home to say that they saw it. And we just think that it's such a wonderful opportunity for the kids to just remember that we are very fortunate in what they're grateful for. We're also excited to see what they say, what they're grateful for. So it'll be fun. We're going to get a picture of that once the leaves start going up. So this wall we get access to now again. So this tree will stay up through the year and will change. In the winter, it will become snowflakes. In February, it'll become hearts. So it really will be kind of a centerpiece for all of the changing seasonal decorations that we get to put up. We have a canned food drive coming up. It's actually just a food drive because there can be paper products as well. This is for the Weston Food Pantry. It starts December 12th and runs through January 13th. Every student will go home with a grocery bag and a flyer attached with what they are asked to bring in. It is broken down by grade. So third grade will be given a list, fourth grade, fifth grade. So you'll get that probably the second week of December to start bringing those in when you're shopping and you have time to grab something extra that can go in the bag for that. Some upcoming events, the Wizards game on Saturday. You can still buy tickets. The links are in the buzz and the whistle. It is super fun. If you were there 2 years ago when we had it, or almost 3 years ago, I can't remember now. It was a blast, and it's great to see the teachers out there and the cheerleaders cheer. It's very sweet. Thank you to Kate Vivolo for an absolutely extraordinary bingo night last week. Or 2 weeks ago. It was a hit. The kids loved it. The parents loved it. We had so much fun, and it was such a quick event. It was 2 hours, but everyone felt like it was just a great amount of time and a great experience. So we will hopefully be bringing that back. People really loved it. We have ice skating planned for a family fun night in January at Longshore. So you can save the date for Friday, January 27th. We'll have more information about that coming up. And we're very excited for that to happen as well. Debbie, do you have anything to add?
No, just I think our board members, our general board members and our executive board members are working so incredibly hard behind the scenes to bring all of these great events to us. And Stephanie doing an amazing job with Edith with the swag. We sold out of everything at the homecoming game. And our team is just doing such a great job, and it's so great to see that after COVID, we're ramping up to bring you some great services and information and events for our kids to be able to have fun.
Awesome, thank you. And next up, we have Board of Ed.
Thank
Stacey,
you.
are you presenting? Okay, Stacey.
Yeah, I am. So the meeting was a lot about some broad strokes, how things are affecting us as a district. So I'm going to talk about a few of those today. The first presentation from the superintendent was about enrollment, and enrollment obviously informs the budget and planning going forward. It also determines the amount of sections per grade, which ultimately determines class size. So I know that's a hot button topic. We want those teacher to student ratios to remain low. So these are our numbers right now as they stand for Hurlbut and WIS and the district. There's a much more comprehensive presentation online. So as throughout this whole presentation, you can obviously log on to the website for more information. Right now, those numbers are within the guidelines of what is recommended. Next, as a parent in the district, I found the statistical report of the class of 22 really interesting. Obviously, you all are saying, but I have a third grader, why do I care? But ultimately, it's telling us how our students are doing throughout their education here at Weston, what their SAT scores are when they graduate, where they're applying to college, what colleges they're getting accepted to. And I really do think that that speaks to the entire education process that all of our kids will go through eventually. So definitely log on to that and check out where everybody ends up. It's pretty interesting and pretty impressive. The special education update, our department is going through a complete revision. So they're reviewing their programs that will affect all students that go through any sort of special ed in the district. Last night, there was a parent meeting that spoke to the new IEP system and also discussed new guidelines around dyslexia. It was recorded, so you have a chance if it affects your family or your child, if you missed the meeting, to go back and watch that. We're also under a literacy review. Our programs are being reviewed. There was a new Connecticut state guideline put forth. And although a lot of districts don't like when they're being mandated to do something, Weston is looking at it as an opportunity to audit our curriculum, look at what we're doing as far as literacy programming, and how can we make improvements. So there's 2 programs that we're reviewing, and we'll choose one to go forward, which affects pre-K through grade 8. Next, there was a really interesting discussion about digital learning, and do our, first and second graders in Hurlbut really need to be on iPads? And both Principal Cadis and Assistant Superintendent Tina Hinkle spoke really articulately about how they're being used, why they're being used, that they're being used with intent, with purpose, definitely developmentally appropriately. And I think most importantly, that they're continually being updated for efficacy, for quality, to make sure that they're in alignment with what we're doing as far as curriculum. So they supported the argument pretty strongly. And again, lots of interesting information imparted. There was also a discussion about Hurlbut's mold complaint. 2 prior inspections in August of 21 and 22 showed that there were traces of mold. However, no remediation was necessary at that point. They did equip the rooms with new HEPA filters, new air conditioning, upgraded dehumidifiers, and at the latest health inspection very recently, they're showing no mold, no adverse moisture conditions. So hopefully that will put parents' minds at rest that your kids are safe and sound at Hurlbut. Next, there's an educational optimization committee that has been put together, a 14-member committee to review the facilities optimization reports. And this all speaks to where the campuses are going, the physical structures. Are we moving from 4 schools to 3 schools? Obviously, a really big discussion that affects generations of students coming through our district. So they are going to present recommendations on how to move forward, but still maintain and optimize our resources and the standard of excellence that we all hope from Weston School District. And lastly, they did vote and approve the new BEO chair and also the officers, and introduce a new board member. At any point, if you're interested in knowing the faces behind who's advocating for you and your child, all the bios of each board member on the website, so you can check out who's speaking on our behalf. And the next BOE meeting is Monday, December 19th at 6 o'clock, remotely via Zoom. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Stacy. And next up, Edith with the Hurlbut minutes.
Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to quickly review. So this is the general PTO minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be hyperlinked. Thank you. I was like, why can't I do it? So in October, we talked a lot about things that were happening in terms of events, which were all very successful. We also talked about the parent-teacher conferences, and there was no other large updates, I believe. I'm sorry.
I can't link on it. It's not allowing me to.
Okay.
That's okay. You can just ask for a first and a second.
Oh, sure. Okay. So if anyone has no questions, can I have a first to approve the minutes from October 19th?
First, Stephanie.
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. And do I have a second?
I'll second Edith Alexandra.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edith.
No problem.
And Debbie, do you want to do the minutes
Yeah.
for Shannon?
Yeah, I am now Shannon Michael, and Shannon has the minutes from our October meeting.
Can you see those?
Yep, we can see them.
Okay. Let's scroll through them real fast.
Yeah, it was a great meeting. We had Miss Hinkle with us to just give us a brief introduction of who she is, and that was really nice. And an amazing presentation by our math specialist. So I know I'm having trouble figuring out 5th grade math, and so it was really nice to hear from them about the resources that are not only there for the students, but also for our children. All right, so if I could get a first motion to approve the minutes from October.
I'll
give
first, Stacy.
Stacy, and a second, please.
Maria, second.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And Jenny Plant, do you have a philanthropy report?
Hi, I'm presenting
Oh,
for
Stephanie.
Jenny. She wasn't able to make it today. So we only had one philanthropy request that was approved at the executive meeting. And it is something that we have previously funded before. So this is just kind of a renewal. And it is the subscription to Hurlbut's Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence Resources, which is the Ruler program. And essentially what it does is it supports all the social emotional learning tools that Hurlbut uses with our children. So we were excited to support this again. Something that we are talking to Mrs. Cadis about is having more family engagement resources. So not only will we be upping the Ruler support, but families will see a little bit more of what happens with the social emotional support and have programs and resources coming home. So can I have a first?
Edith?
Thank you, Edith. And a second?
I'll second Stephanie Alexandra.
Thank you. So this has been approved and we're excited. Thank you very much.
All right, Michelle, the Hurlbut Treasury Report.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm in my car. We are doing great in terms of operating. We had about $6,500 of income come in. That's all right. Probably have these numbers memorized anyway. The income came in through Spiritware and wall calendars, and then the expenses out were around community building, back to school baggies, the BP coffees that have been, Alexandra has been hosting those at the different grade levels, and family fun night at Ambler Farm. Insurance, wall calendar, and Spiritware kind of production costs. Philanthropy report, we had $88 come in through school kits, and the expenses were just part of our reserve, principal discretionary, teacher discretionary requests, and the garden project. So our operating balance is at 11,000, philanthropy balance is at 70,000. If anyone has 79,000, sorry. If anyone has any questions, just feel free to email me.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And Debbie's going to present for Chris.
Yes, so Chris is absolutely amazing how his mind works. He has put together this graph for us. And one thing he wanted me to mention is that we don't have a lot of income yet for operating because we have not yet received our funds from our membership drive. So Tammy is working that information out, and we should have that income coming in very shortly. And then also for our expenses, we have put out about $4,000 to purchase all of our fabulous swag and reorder our swag. And so as we sell our merchandise, that money will also even out to cover that money. And then that money will also go into our philanthropy account. I will say that just in cash from our sales during the homecoming game, we made $350 just in cash. Not that does not include the money that Chris has been overwhelmed with Venmo coming into our account. So thank you to everyone who's been purchasing that. But Chris is doing a great job keeping everything in order. So our philanthropy account, we have $80,000 in our philanthropy account. We have $24,000 in our operating account. And I'm just going to put a teaser out there. People, get ready to get your checkbooks out because we have a huge philanthropy request coming in that an amazing new member of our Weston community, Jesse Schaefer, is putting together for us. He will hopefully have a proposal for our philanthropy committee coming in December to our executive board and our philanthropy committee, and hopefully we'll be able to present in January. So get ready for this one, people, because it is big. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. We do have, before everyone jumps off, and we wish everyone a happy holiday season, we did have a question that popped in actually, that was texted to me. And Mrs. Cadis, are you still on the call? It was for Hurlbut.
Yes, I'm here.
So they were wondering about the ovens in the cafeteria. Are they working again?
Yeah, so I sent in an email blast yesterday, just an update. We are still waiting on repairs. You know, it's been hard with the supply chain, getting it done. So you will see, you know, different menu options for the time being. I would anticipate for at least a few weeks. I spoke to Andre. He was able to come up with some other possibilities besides just the pasta, although I know the kids love the pasta. That's always a good fallback. But the hot menu items will be a little different over the next few weeks until that repair happens.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the update. That's great. So that is it for our—
Wait, hold on, Maria, don't we need to approve in our general membership meeting our philanthropy request from Mrs. Reinas for something we approved in our executive meeting?
No, because we haven't signed off entirely in execs. I think we have to wait.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Sorry.
But thank you for reminding me. That is it. Do we have any other, does anyone else have any other questions you want to pop in? It says on the PTO calendar that tomorrow is early dismissal. Is that true? No. Mrs. Cadis, is tomorrow early dismissal?
No early dismissal tomorrow.
Thank goodness. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for asking that question. No, you get a full day of school. Full day tomorrow. We'll make sure that the calendar people can update that for us. The other thing I wanted to show really quickly before we say our last goodbyes here. So Stephanie had mentioned the membership toolkit. We have an app that you can also download, and we will link it in the buzz and the whistle. You can do it, you know, via a URL, but the app is really great and I use it constantly because I don't have paper. Even Ollie, my dog, agrees. So it's the membership toolkit app. Can everyone see this? Am I holding this up close enough? So this it shows it. Okay, so this is the app, and on it, it has your information, directory preferences, the actual directory, and a calendar. And the calendar we haven't been using, but it will be in the works soon. But the directory is great because you click on it, you tap on it, and then you can type in a kid's name or a parent's name, and you can get their information, and you can text them or email them and reach out if you want to play date or if you had a question about sports. It's a really, really great tool. We would love more people to be able to use it because it's very easy. So we'll make sure that that's linked as well in the buzz and the whistle, so you can just download that onto your phone. So our next meeting is in January, and we are so excited to have the resource officers joining us for that. I'm sorry, Ollie is telling me it's time to leave. The resource officers will be with us in January talking about cyberbullying and technology, and we're really excited for them to be here for that. So mark your calendars for Wednesday, January 25th. Have a wonderful holiday season and be safe and enjoy. Thank you everyone so much. Can we add teachers' contact info to the app? Not unless they're in the directory already. I don't think we can. But Kimberly, I'll look into that for you and find out. Any other questions? I really love that people are asking questions. We never get them. It makes me so happy. Anything else? All right. All right, team. That's it.